morning. June 1st, Sunday. Time is 7:11. Almost back up to the trailhead. It was a very quiet night despite the number of people there. And back on trail. A little chilly this morning. I've got an uphill climb. This is where we were last night. The only water source for 7 more miles. Black Rock Summit, 0.6 of a mile. Good way to start the day. There's a campground and store up ahead, and there's also I think a Wayside or something that does do hamburgers and milkshakes, and we'll see. I'll check out the camp store, see how far it is to that Wayside where they cook hamburgers and stuff. Still like, I don't know, 8 miles ahead, I think. So we'll go from there. I'm just going to hit the next shelter today, which is another, I think, 13.5 miles. Looks like we're going to have sunshine today. It's just peeking up there. So supposedly there's some pretty good views up here. So when I get to the top, I'll be sure to share them with you. Until then, have a good morning. June 1st, about 8:40. Kind of a cool section of the trail. Got all these ledges and rocks along the edge of the trail. And a bridge. Skyline Drive is beyond those rocks somewhere. Not too far, I don't think. It's nice when you get a change of scenery. These things are going to be cool. I don't know what these are. I probably should know, but they're pretty tall. Probably around 3 foot tall right now. Some of them are even taller. You can see the sun poking through the leaves here every once in a while. That was only about, I'm going to guess, somewhere around 44, 45 degrees this morning. I am in my shorts and t-shirt. I did know. I had a 0.6 of a mile climb first thing, so I knew I'd warm up fast. We've crossed Skyline Drive a couple times already. Looks like I'm going to do it again here right off quick. Hoping to get rid of my trash today at the campground. That would be fabulous. So, all right. Might have some views actually right up here. We will stop and take a look, and look who's running around in the background. A deer. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a view spot here, so keep up with that. Nice dry spot for that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Good afternoon, June 1st, 12:55. I've been at the camp store in the Shenandoah National Park, so I went in and got myself an iced tea and a pastry and a little coffee drink. Charged up my phone and got one more blinker on my battery bank, so it takes a long time to charge the battery bank, so I at least got one more bar on that. I got 5.1 miles to the shelter tonight. I put on a couple extra miles today because I left the camp store and I walked 1.1 miles down to the Wayside, which is a gift shop and a grill that does like hamburgers and some sandwiches and fries and onion rings, that type of stuff. So I walked down there with the Australian. I left him back at the restaurant there. I didn't want to miss any of the AT, so I walked all the way back up the hill, another 1.1 miles. So I've got 2.2 miles extra into my day that don't count for anything other than having a full belly. And that's important. So I don't even know how much it cost. I didn't ask for the receipt, so I'm not sure I want to know. Any little stores and gift shops and different things like that, especially in a national park, are going to be pricey. So I was hoping to get a resupply for a few days, but that wasn't happening in that store. So there's no prices on anything, and they did have some Mountain House meals, but I didn't want to be paying like $20 for a Mountain House meal. They're like 15 in the store as it is, and they're going to have a extra hefty price on it probably. So I didn't get any. I got a turkey salad sandwich, which I am packing out. It's not real hot today, and it's only 5 miles from camp, so I'll have that for my supper tonight. I picked up 2 packages of ramen and 2 little apple pie things. I was going to eat the other one, but I'm actually kind of full from lunch. I had a smash burger and fries and a blackberry milkshake. That was the big thing. That was my drive to get there. So I walked 2.2 miles basically and generally for a blackberry shake. And it was really good. It was really good. So the sun is still up there. It's having a difficult time today to get much warmth to it. It's not too bad right now, so I know there was people this morning that took some major shortcuts and cut out a big piece of this trail because they wanted to go down there, but they didn't want to do the extra walking. So, but it's their hike, so they can do it their way, and I'm going to do mine my way, which means walking the entire Appalachian Trail, one step at a time, 2,200 miles. I would feel guilty if I skipped part of it because anyway. So my goal was to walk the entire Appalachian Trails one step at a time, and I plan on keeping that goal. I'll be almost at 900 miles when I get to the shelter tonight. I will hit 900 miles tomorrow. So I celebrated early by walking 2.2 extra miles. How's that? Oh, goodness. But it was a good walk so far today. Nothing real serious. I made some really good time this morning getting to the camp store there. People are friendly enough. There are showers there and flushing toilets, and there is a laundry there too, but I didn't want to get into all that. If I was camping there or something, I might do that, but I chose not to do that. So I didn't want to spend all day there. As it is, I got there around, 10 o'clock this morning maybe? Yeah, I was there within like 3 hours. So I think it was around between 7 and 8 miles. So I'm back on trail, heading north. Like I said, I had 5.1 miles to get to the shelter. Less than that now because I'm still walking and talking. Full belly. I'm not sure it feels great to have my hip belt thing around my waist right now. Saw a couple deer this morning. Nothing else since I've been here, of course. So. Like forget-me-nots. Everywhere here. All right, I'm gonna pick up the pace just a little bit. I'm really no hurry. I'll be there in a couple hours, and it's 1. I'll be there by 3 o'clock, probably. I don't know what's in between me and the shelter, but probably a trail like this, and it might go up like that, and it might go back down. So, good chance of that in the next 5 miles. I know I got some views coming up as well, so, or at least one viewpoint coming up. I'm not sure what my elevation is right here, but it's probably somewhere 25, 26. 100 feet. Oh, we got another marker thing coming up here. Not sure what this is. We'll check that out. In the Shenandoahs, they have these cement type markers with printed or stamped in aluminum wraparound. And let's see what it says. It says Appalachian Trail to the right and to the left. Well, of course, so the Loft Mountain Camp Store is, I've already done 4/10 of a mile just since talking to you guys. Campground's back that way. Fraser Discovery Trail, 0.06. I've already walked past the Discovery Trail twice when I walked down to the wayside and walked all the way back. So, northward we head. So that's what all the little posts on the Shenandoah National Park are, all the cement type posts with the aluminum prints on them. So sometimes they're a little hard to read, but that's all right. Okay. If I come across anything interesting, I will be sure to let you know. Talk to you soon. June 1st. Just a little side trail here. Not sure what it looks like up here, but other than rock after rock after rock after rock. And the wind is blowing. Let's see what we can see here. Beautiful. Not bad. Now I have to go down and get my poles because I dropped them. There's one. There's the other one. Oh, I dropped it again. At least I didn't drop them over the cliff there, because they would probably have to stay there. All right. Here's a little bit of a view. I think there's another spot coming up. I'm not sure it's right on the AT, and I don't know how far off the AT it is, but I got time today. I might just do that. All right. I'll catch up with you soon. Heading north. June 1st. A doe just jumped out of the woods in front of me and kind of went up the trail. I don't know if she's still there or whether she had popped back into the woods. No, she's right there. There she is. Right there. Just looking at me. I'll just kind of go slow. guess she's going to camp with me. Oh my goodness, there's one right there beside me. She must have been laying in the bushes there underneath the tree. Well, this is slowing me down a little bit today, but that's okay too. There she goes, heading north. Sorry about the jiggling, but I got my camera on zoom a little bit. There she goes. All right. That was fun. I didn't see the one beside me until I turned and I was like, whoa, there's one right there. Just laying underneath the bushes. Oh boy, we got some wetness here. Had somebody go ahead of me not that long ago, and I figured, well, I'm probably not going to see much today, but imagine that. There I go thinking again. I should not be predicting ahead because I'm never very good at it. All right. No rattlers on the other side of this log, I hope. Okay, I'm going to let you go. And if I come across any other wild creatures other than myself, I'll let you know. Talk to you soon. Sunday, June 1st, about 20 after 2. Beautiful. Enjoy the afternoon. Something that I just noticed walking down through here, all the mountain laurel. Look at the difference in the color here. I don't know if you can really tell as much. These ones here are very light in color, and this one right beside it is a much darker pink. I don't know if it's a nutrients thing. It's a different mountain laurel altogether, or have these been open longer and they're faded, and this is the color when they're not faded? I don't know. But it sure is beautiful. I'm about 1/10 of a mile away from the shelter for the night. See, now these ones are like white. And then we have some that are a little bit pinkish. I don't know. And then we have some that are a darker pink. There's not very many of them that are really dark pink like those ones that I just showed you back there. They're kind of a cross between the almost white and the pink. Of course, they're all wild, so. Interesting day today. Lots of wildlife. I saw a couple of young gray squirrels playing in the trees today. I was fascinated by it, but I wasn't smart enough to think about grabbing my camera, so I didn't get a picture of it, but they were cute. They were running around in a tree, jumping from branch to branch. I was at one of the view sites that I was at. And the shelter is only supposed to be 1/10 of a mile up the trail as well, so we'll see. Ouch. Well, here's our crossroads. Let's see. Appalachian Trail north. That away. Across that, what normally would be a little stream or something there. This one says the Pinefield Hut. And spring is 165 yards. And Skyline Drive is the other direction. So 165 yards. Pinefield Hut and spring. So this is the way we're going. We'll come out tomorrow and take a right and head on north. I should be meeting Fun Fact tomorrow. I haven't had any communications with him today because cell service has been horrible. Trying to send out snaps, sometimes it takes 20 minutes or more to get a snap to even send. So I did send him a picture, or not a picture, a location point for Pinefield Shelter, so he knows roughly where I am. I'll share my location with him tonight if I have service down here. I don't know. This is a road, for crying out loud, just about 165 yards, huh? Well, I see a roof. I see stone. So that obviously is the shelter. And this is going to be our water source for tonight. I don't know if you can see it very well, but right here. This is our water source for this evening. All right. I don't know if anybody's here. I see. Howdy! Oli, how are you? Pinefield. This is called Pinefield because there's no pines here. Oh, there is a pine out behind. There's a couple pine trees back there. Most of them are oak trees. Very cool. All right. The bear box back there. And this is for, apparently Hoot the Owl lives in there. At night he's going to be hollering, hoot hoot, don't pollute. Pretty sure that's who lives in there. All right, outhouse is up on the hill. Pretty tent sites around, I guess. Very similar to last night's shelter. Nice big fire pit. Looks great. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Gotta get settled in. I won't bore you with the fishing regulations. Shenandoah National Park, June 1st. It's about 6:15 at night. It was a very eventful day today. I walked almost 16 miles, but only 15 and a half for to come to here to this shelter today. So I added a couple extra miles in there. Going to a store. So yeah, this morning started out with a little over a half-mile climb up to the top of Black Rock. The views were amazing. The sun was amazing. It was just after 7:30 in the morning, and I was the only one up there. It was absolutely gorgeous. Could have stayed there a long time. There was a lot of rock scrambles and a lot of places to climb around, and it was cold enough this morning, so probably not too many snakes were hanging out at that point, so I was still careful. Saw a couple more deer this morning. I did get some videos. They were right on trail, right nearby. So some of them didn't run very far, and some of them got out, just left. So. No bear. I saw some bear scat right in the middle of the trail. I didn't step in it, thankfully. I made it to the camp store. I was going to get some resupply and so forth in the camp store. The resupply didn't pan out there. They didn't have a lot of things for resupply. It was more for day hikers, I guess, if you will. I mean, I guess I could have taken out a bunch of pastries, but that's probably not the healthiest way for me to go. So, and neither is ramen noodles, but they had a couple packages of those, so I did get something for there. I'm going to try to stretch the rest of the food out that I have. I'm going to do one packet of oatmeal tomorrow. I don't know how far I'm going tomorrow. Haven't been able to get a hold of Fun Fact. But and after I left the camp store, I walked 1.1 miles to the Wayside, which is a little gift shop and grill, I guess. So, and I had hamburger and fries and a blackberry milkshake. That's what drove me to walk that extra 1.1 mile there and 1.1 mile back to the camp store and back on trail. So I didn't miss any of the AT. So I think I was the only one that did that. Everybody else decided to take a different route. But I wanted to walk every step of the AT, so I marched myself right back to where I got off to the store and right back on trail. So, and I'm glad I did. It was gorgeous. I saw more deer in the afternoon. Lots and lots of views from up there. So some of them are absolutely breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. I crossed the highway, I don't even know how many times. I lost count already. How many times I had to go back and forth across that. So quite a few times. It wasn't like busy traffic or anything, but Skyline Drive. I thought it would be busier, but maybe it's just because it's, I don't know. I don't really know. It is Sunday. It's a weekend, so Still saw some trail runners today, in and out. So, and I met the guy. I didn't know who he was. All right, he has white hair, wears a ball cap, and a big white beard, and he had a small, looked like almost like a school bag kind of thing over his shoulder, and two trekking poles, and away he went. He was coming up the hill, and I stepped over a little bit. We exchanged just a couple of words, and told him it was a perfect day for a hike. And tonight, while I was sitting at the shelter here, he's coming up to the shelter, and he took one look at me and he goes, "I met you today." I said, yes, we did. We met today on the trail. And his job is to go to all of these shelters and make sure there is toilet paper in the latrines. And that's what he's doing. So I didn't know what he was doing when he was hiking earlier today. So he's almost done for the day. I think he had one more stop today, and then he was going to be done. But that's a lot of walking around. So I think he goes from gap to gap, so it's not so far. But still, that's quite a job to have there, I guess. I had no idea. Never even thought about it, to be honest. I didn't know if there might be something in there, so I thought I'd take a look. So yeah, great day today. Absolutely fabulous day today. I've got a close-up picture of a bird that I don't know what it is either, so I'm gonna have to try to identify it. It was kind of brave, actually. So, and speaking of birds, we had a whippoorwill last night, and I'm pretty sure it was sitting on the picnic table just outside the shelter. It was so loud, but it didn't start until 5 o'clock this morning, that close. There was a couple of them further away, but I don't know, that one, I'm telling you, it was like on the picnic table. It was so loud, really loud. So it was someplace really close to that shelter for sure. Everybody heard it. So. All right, that's a recap for tonight. I already did a tour of the shelter when I got here today. The stream here feeds into the other stream that's down by the shelter. All right, I guess I'll let you go for tonight, and I'll see if I can catch up with Fun Fact tomorrow. I'm not sure. Having no service has made this very difficult. I didn't expect to have no service. Usually I could walk someplace, but I've been all over the place and have not yet found a place to get service. So I'll have to do it tomorrow, someplace up out of where I am now, I guess. All right, everybody have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow will mark my 3 months on trail.